which we always do in Mr. Brown's class. But I have a question. So I'm going to hand you, or Miss Thompson is going to hand you this piece of paper. I want you to look at all of the angles. And I need you to tell me, or circle, which angle do you think is the biggest? Which letter represents the biggest angle? Does everybody have one? So, if you can just circle, so I want you to think about it, and then circle your answer with your pencil.
Put that card away.
Then when you have an answer, give me a thumb on your chest, because that tells me that you're thinking and that you're ready to go. So I need a thumb. You have a question? What's your question?
Okay, so we circle it now.
Yeah, so circle the biggest one that you think. So we're looking at the angles.
Wait,
So
how
which
many?
one is there's one answer.
I don't know.
You just make the biggest choice.
The biggest angle
The biggest angle.
is what she's asking. Which one do you think is the biggest angle? Okay, circle it then.
Okay.
I'm not in charge. Miss Davenport is. You can ask
So
her.
I'm still waiting for
Or
some
you can ask her.
thumbs to show me that you have an Marcus, Max, you got a thumb? You have an answer?
Is there a video in there?
Great. So, can someone share their thinking with the class and I? Will tell us first which one you circled and then why. Let's go with, do you have name sticks? No?
Do you want like the team, like the?
No, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I don't.
So he circled C. Give me another thumb if you also circled C. So I have some agreeing. That's great. Why did you circle C? Sorry, I interrupted.
Because it's the largest angle.
Oh, the largest angle. So can you tell me how you determined that? Like, can you come and point to where you were looking to determine your answer? So your eyes up here. So were you looking at like this? Like how long it is? Oh, so you looked at both this one, and this looked like the longest? Okay. Anybody else have anything different? Alec?
Because it's a 90 angle.
If you're playing with cards anymore, you're not
Oh,
presenting
it
this afternoon.
is. It is a 90-degree angle, but it's turned. So I'm going to put something out there that might have you might have to make a revision on your thinking, which all of us do every day. So please do not get upset if you have to rethink your thinking. The answer is not C.
So it's E, right? C.
So, time out. So look at your paper. Remember, I'm asking for the largest angle or the biggest angle.
E.
So what are our three angles? We have right. Alex told us we have right. What's another angle that we have? Ashanti, obtuse, and acute. So are we looking for an acute angle?
No.
No, because I'm looking for the largest angle. So I want you to rethink and look at all of the letters. Does anybody want to change their thinking?
E.
Elijah, what are you thinking? D. Elijah says D. Give me an agree if you agree with Elijah or a thumb. I'm changing.
I agree because it's more large.
Ah, it's obtuse, right? You guys do like this growl thing, like yeah, there it is. Great. So I agree. This is, but look at these lines. They're so short. Like Jerry said, I think this one, it looks like they're longer, but is this angle wider than this angle?
No.
No. So we have to really focus on the angles that we are looking at. Any questions about why it's D? No? Great. All right, so we are going to all right, we are going to be working with the sheet called Which Wedge is Right. So when Miss Thompson hands you your materials, please do not touch them. I know it's kind of
Tempting.
yes, tempting, thank you, to touch the materials, but please do not touch the materials. Thank you for putting them down. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to be working with wedges, and we are going to measure the angles, with your wedges. Yes. Oh, sorry. Okay, just leave it there. Thank you. All right, so that's good.
Why don't we get one of those papers?
Okay, she's better than me. So I am going to do the first. I'm going to model the first one, and then we'll do the second one together, and then I'll let you explore with the wedges. So like I said earlier, please do not touch the materials, even though it's very tempting. You're all doing a great job, which I really appreciate. So, number one, I am going to pull out my wedges. The wedges are all the same size, unless I cut it a little unevenly, but they're majority the same size. So, first I'm going to guess or make an estimation about how many wedges I can fit in number one. So I'm going to look at it. I'm going to say 2. I heard 2. I'm going to go with 2. So I'm going to take a wedge. There's 1. There's 2. Ooh, I think I can fit 3. So I'm going to make a revision in my thinking. 3. So it's a little bit more out of the line. So I'm going to say 2.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to number 1 and write 2.5. I don't have a writing utensil right here, so just imagine that it's
So
there.
you can put 2 out of 3.
So I'm going to write 2.5 for number 1. Then I'm going to go do the same thing for number 2. So let's do number 2 together. So let's take a guess. 2. What can't you see? Oh, she wrote 2.5, or you can write 2 and then the fraction 1 over 2. Sorry, I'm in the way. I'm not used to this board. Okay.
You know how to do that.
So 2.5 or 2.5, because I didn't use the full third wedge. Yeah? So number 2, who wants to make an estimation or a guess for number 2? Let's go JP.
3 or 4.
3 or 4? So I want you to dig in your baggies and let's try it. If you don't have the same guess, that's fine. Just keep working through it.
All right, dig in there, try it.
So let's measure this angle with our wedges.
You gotta see how many wedges you can fit in there. How much one over two.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, you got your wedges out, testing it?
You said 4, right?
We're doing number 2. She already did that one. So that one, she said there was 2.5 in that one. What do you think about that one? Do you think there's going to be more in this one or this one?
So you have to line up. You have to line up. Yeah.
Jeez,
There you go.
there's a lot of this.
Thanks
What do you think?
It's 2 for me.
Here's a
What are you?
Yep. And then you have to count the wedges.
I said it was 4.
So I got one answer. Write it down. Next to number 2.
Alright, so for number 2 in this column, you're
It's
writing
actually
5 right here.
So some people's might be different, but yeah.
6. I got 6.
If that's yours, if it's
Yeah.
yours, that's what you write.
No, it's 6.
So you can write 5 right here for number 2.
You can write that. Just
Use a pencil. Okay, you just write 5. Yep, right next to number 2. And then try, do you want them to move on?
yeah. So then if you got that one and I came and talked to you, you may move on to the next one.
Alright, try the next one now. We're at number 3. Good job, Greg.
I suppose if I probably just got 4.
It's okay, you may not measure it all perfectly, right?
Yep, you
Write
may
down
move
what you
on
ended up
after number 2.
I don't have no more of these, Mr. Brown.
You don't have to leave them, you can use those in the next one. You can take them off there.
Yes, 5. It is 5, so you gotta make sure that you kind of get them together so you get a full reading of the
Although I do remember her asking you to use a pencil at the start of the lesson, which is why everybody stood up and got a pencil.
Mr. Brown, this 5.
You're gonna rate 5, number 2. Then you go on to the next angle.
This 4.
So get up and find one.
Remember, if the wedge doesn't fit fully, you can imagine that they're halves to get a better measurement of the angle.
Greg.
Right, it's not going to be perfect because they're just paper wedges. Oh, what do you have going on here? 7, I agree. And it's not going to be perfect, is it? You think it'll, no. So I wonder if there's a way that we could get more precise when measuring angles. Yes, Max.
When everybody's on the
You are on number 4.
This is number 3. Is this correct for number 4?
Yeah.
Number 5.
Okay, so you're lining them up. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll hold it for you.
Try a little goodness. We get to see how much our partners measured.
You can, I know. It wasn't in the direction, my direction.
You done with them, Greg? All of them? Alright, keep going.
4, yeah.
I'm done.
You have 4 wedges in that number 3. You are. Alright. So, I'm gonna wrap it up. So, if you can finish the one you are on in, let's do 10 seconds. Finish the one you are on. Please put your materials back in the bag. That'd be lovely. 2. So, finish up the one you're on, and then put your materials back in the bag. Alright, if you have not started putting your wedges back in the bag, if you could please do so, that would be great.
Oh, it's nice to see some people putting their wedges away. That's great.
And I got
Thanks, Max. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't need it right now. Alright, can someone share what they got for number, let's do 3. How about, Greg, what'd you get? You got 4? Does anybody agree with 4? I saw a lot of 4s. Yes.
what?
3. Number 3. Great. 3. Number 3.
He got 4 for number 3.
4 wedges.
4 wedges for number
For
3.
number 3. Kamaya, what'd you get for number 4?
2.
2. For this angle? So did you fill in with the wedges? So do you need to make a revision of your thinking? Yeah, that's okay. We all do that. Can someone help Kamaya? Caitlin, what'd you get? 6? Yeah, I saw some 6s as well. Did anybody get half on one of them? Like, so the first one we got 2.5. Did anybody get half on any of them? Alec, what'd you get? Oh, so some people got 5.5 for this one. So I'm wondering if there's something out in this world of ours that would help us get a more precise measurement of the angle other than wedges. Because when we're building things, we're not going to be able to use wedges to get a precise measurement. So I have this picture that I want you to look at. So if you're putting up a roof and you need to measure this angle, are you going to use my lovely paper wedges? No. So do you guys have any idea of what you could use to maybe get this precise measurement? Because when you're building a house, you want it to be pretty perfect, like exact measurements so that it doesn't fall apart in like 20 or 50 years, right? Right. So Tay, your hands up. What are you thinking?
You use like a measuring stick, or you can put it like base.
Oh, so you're thinking like a ruler maybe? I wonder if there's a tool where in this world that helps us measure angles. I'm wondering. Ashanti.
Those little yellow things.
Oh.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there is a tool out there that helps us measure angles to the exact degree that we need. And they are called protractors.
So that's what we're gonna do today for my part of the lesson. I'm gonna introduce how to use them, okay? And so I have this lovely picture right here for each and every one of you. And we are going to label each part together. Okay? So if Ms. Davenport can hand these out for me, that would be awesome.
I thought I should put those away.
We are going to do this together. So try not to write anything on there yet.
Can you pass one to
Caitlin, did you hear what that
Has
tool is
anyone
called?
seen a protractor before?
Yes.
What's it called?
Can you give me a hand raise
No, I'm asking
if you've seen
Caitlin.
one
What's it called?
before?
This is cardboard.
So it's not breakable. Try to make it tough.
It is breakable.
Do
It
not.
kind of is breakable, but not as much as
This is
it
cardboard.
So, can you give me a thumbs up if you've seen a protractor before? Thumbs up if you've seen one before. Yeah? So, did everyone get one?
Where
All
I'm
right.
taking up my dead
So the
serious.
first part we are going to label is the baseline. Okay, so the baseline is this whole line right here, all the way across. That is our baseline.
Jerry.
So if you can write baseline like how I did. So the baseline is this whole line, all the way from the end and across. That is our baseline.
I like how some
Yes.
of you are labeling your baseline. Great.
Our next one is the vertex center. The vertex center. It's a pretty big word. It's this little area right here.
Now it's both.
There we go.
Oh, base.
See this little point right here?
I keep on drawing W's. Yeah.
Alright, so that's our vertex center. What do you think goes right there when we're using this, if we're going to measure angles? Does anyone have any idea what's going to be at this little point? if we're measuring an angle, you see an angle, what's going to be right there?
line.
A vertex line? Anyone have any other ideas? Alright, so for an angle, this is where we're going to put the point. So you know how the angle right here? And here's that little point up here? That's where we're going to place that little point right there is on our vertex center. Our next one is our outside scale.
Are you labeling your picture?
So you see how the zero's right
It's
here?
on the board, just copy it.
The zero right here? The outside scale is going to go this way.
Is that an O? Is that an O or an A?
It's an O. Out. Outside scale. Can you see it?
Vertex center.
Yep, vertex center is in the middle.
Yep. So this part, 0 all the way to 180 is our outside scale. And then we have an inside scale, which is on the other side.
I say inside scale.
So our inside scale is on the other side.
Yep.
And for the inside scale, it's going to start 0 on this side and go that way all the way to 180. Do you see it? The 0 right here?
Outside.
So we have the outside going all the way around on top. And then we have the inside scale going on the inside. Why do you think they have an outside scale and an inside scale?
Cut.
They both have 0. So what do you think that means though, if we're measuring angles? Jared.
It's outside of the darn about.
Okay, that's a good thought. That's a good thought. Well, for this one, if we have an angle that's facing this way, right? That's facing to our left. All right, if we're looking at the protractor, if it's facing to our left, we're going to use the outside scale right here. But if it's facing to the right, we're going to use our inside scale to measure it. And so we're going to model this. I'm going to model it first for you. I'm going to do an inside scale and an outside scale, how to use it. Alright, so I have my protractor. Okay.
Cardboard.
Where is the vertex going to go on this angle?
Math.
On number 1.
Oh, sorry.
Where's the vertex?
Stop.
Right.
So our little circle right here, the vertex, where's that going to go on our angle?
In the middle.
In the middle, where they meet, right? So I have to line up the vertex
Ask Miss Davenport.
with our
She's in
angle.
charge.
Then I have to make sure this line right here lines up with our baseline. So you can go back to your diagram if you need help understanding where our vertex center is and our baseline. So if I go this way, what scale am I using? Am I using the inside scale or the outside scale?
Inside. Inside.
Outside, outside.
No, inside.
What do you guys think? I hear outside and inside. What do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up if you think it's the outside. Thumbs up if you think it's the outside scale. Alright? I don't see many. Alright? Give me a thumbs up if you think it's the inside scale. Alright, so this one we're going to use the outside scale because it's opening to the left of the protractor. You see how this is our left side? This is our right side? So we're going to use the outside scale because it's opening up to the left side. And so, I lined it up, and it's looking about 118 degrees.
See the back of that camera?
What?
Would you guys agree?
See in the back of that camera?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I keep pointing at you, so that I can show your mom what you do during math.
And then you guys would have practice with
So
it,
can
okay?
I,
You can send it to her after school today.
so it says 118 degrees. Does that mean it's really hot?
No.
Like it's burning up. That angle is burning up because it's 118 degrees.
No, it's like it's an angle.
Oh, it's like how much it's open or how obtuse it is? Oh,
So is
it's
this an
that.
obtuse angle?
Yes.
Yes. Why is it obtuse though?
How do you know?
It's bigger than a right angle.
It's bigger than a right angle.
Nice.
How big is a right angle though?
90
90 degrees. Is 118 bigger than 90 degrees?
Yes.
I agree. Alright, so I have papers for everyone. Miss Davenport will pass them out. I will pass out the protractors. Try not to break these because these are pretty expensive, okay? So I'm just going to hand them out. Doesn't matter what color you get because there's some that are color, so try not to be.
Dude. Tell for more than 5 seconds.
I'm the same way.
I'm just going to hand them out as they're
I don't think
going.
you try to cut yourself with cardstock. You're doing good. You're almost done.
That's on there.
Because you guys are wanting both.
I have color-coded
Alright,
No, it's like
so let's do
zooming it out.
number 2 together.
Can you do it?
We're gonna do it together. So where will we place our vertex and our protractor? Our vertex is this little circle. I made it really obvious for you guys on these protractors. Where will we place the vertex center?
In the middle.
In the middle, where the points meet, right?
In the angle.
Hey, get with her right now. If you want to use the tools in math and you don't want to just sit with a piece of paper and do nothing, if she's asking you a question, get with her. She just sat there and talked about what a protractor was for the last 7 minutes, and I saw the same 4 people participate. This is what I talk about, the difference between the first group and the second group. The first group, I have everyone raising their hands the entire time. Does that mean you have to raise your hand every time a question is asked? No. But when you sit there with your head down, or you sit and have a conversation for 15 minutes during math, probably not what she's looking for. Probably why my hair is falling out at the age of 29. Get with her.
Alright, so where are we going to place the...
In the middle.
In the middle, where the points meet, right? So can you place it in the middle? Okay? What do we need to do next? What do we do with that line on the bottom?
It's the angle.
Well, the one on the bottom. Right here. What do we need to do with it? So we're going to need to line it up with the baseline. Remember our baseline? That straight line across? So if you guys can line it up with the baseline. Okay? Now, question. Are we going to use the inside scale or the outside scale?
Inside.
Well, outside is when it's open to the left. Is that one open to the left? Inside scale, yes. So who can tell me how much it is? What is our degree for this one?
That's the circle. That's which one?
What do we do?
That's
Number 2. So look,
Alright,
this
Darren,
circle
can you help
is
us
going to
out?
be right on the top.
22 degrees. Would you guys agree? Thumbs up if you agree with Jared, if it's 22 degrees.
Over, you do this one.
Is there any hint? My question is, I just had a question. Now, Mr. Brown hasn't used a protractor in a long time. Hey, eyeballs, real quick. So she's asking you if it's the inside or the outside scale. When you look at that angle, do the numbers tell you anything when you look at the inside and the outside scale?
It'd be an acute.
They don't tell you anything?
yes.
This is looking like, what is that degree right in there? In between 150 and 160. Does that look wider than 90 degrees? No, it's like this. So I would probably look at those numbers. I would say around 20 degrees sounds a lot better than 160 degrees. Use the numbers, make some sense of it. Sorry, I just saw that too.
So, thank you for that.
No, you're good.
Alright. So now it's your turn to do number 4.
I already did it.
Alright, well, somebody check it out.
Number 4, let's do it.
What are you doing, Jay?
You can use your label, your diagram of the
So again, you're gonna
protractor to help you out how to do it.
How we do this? Show me how to use this thing.
find right where those two lines meet. Good. And now what you want, Greg, is you want it to be flat. So hold on.
Like we gotta line up.
You see how this slides?
Let's go off there.
Yeah, so look at this one right here. Look at where your thumb is. You see how this flat going straight across? You want to make sure that lines up. I'll help you next year. Okay. This is hard for me to see, but you have to look at where this line goes.
She has that.
Right? If we were to draw it like
This
that,
one right here. She has it even.
yeah, it's about between 160 and 170. It's hard to tell for sure. Here's how I tell for sure. You take your pencil
So
and you put it on the line, and you just draw it and go out like that. You know, I just make it longer,
Look
right?
at it over there.
Now you can really see it.
How wide do you think it is?
so we're gonna follow this one.
160,
What is it about at?
right in the middle, isn't it? So 160,
Say 20 because 20 would be really skinny.
4 or 5, something like that.
Yep.
I would agree, Greg.
Way
The key is, you see this little line?
Close,
See that
maybe a
flat
little
line?
bit more.
You want that to line up. So you want that flat line to line up with this line. To make sure it's flat. Does that make sense?
Well, we're gonna find it right where it needs, and we're gonna get it flush.
So you're right there, 164, 165.
Yes, we have this, the vertex center right
Who
over
doesn't
there.
get
We
it?
have the ray.
Give me some.
If you don't have it lined up in the line, look what it does.
I think we're on number 4.
It changes your degree. Do you see that?
So,
It has to be lined up. So about right
First
there,
thing,
where do you think
placing the protractor. Okay? You see this line right here? You see first of all, you see the circle.
about right
You see the
there?
dot? The dot is going to go where the two lines meet. So if you look where the two lines meet, look here.
160 is right there. Now she's on this path, right?
Look right here, you see where the two lines meet? Like right here, right?
18.
That's where your
We're
dot's
like right here.
Now, the other key is I can't just turn it whichever way I want. Okay? I want to see this line that goes out with the dot. Look at it. See the line right here?
and if
You
you're
want that line?
on your, I'm just letting you know, on your unit assessment, when I'm grading it,
Yep.
if you're within 5 degrees,
Yeah. Okay, so now we're.
you're fine.
Where's this area?
However, if the answer is 90 degrees and you tell me 37, is that within 5? No, there's a big gap there. So that tells me that you don't know how to use a protractor. Okay? So if you're within 5 degrees, you're in the neighborhood. That's what I'm looking for.
So I just thought of something as I was working with a student. So you see how this line is really small? Sometimes when I'm working with a protractor, I like to make it
Stand up the line.
bigger
Oh, nice.
so I can see how far
4
or
is in
what
the middle
degree
of
it's going.
160. Number 4 is in the middle.
Isn't that easier to see if it
160 and 170. I in between.
That's about what we got too. So it really helps to keep your head up while she's teaching, and not put your forehead in the table. I know, I'm just saying that it's really hard to learn that way. I tried it my whole elementary career.
Is it open this way? Or is it open that way? That way, right? So does it look bigger than 90 degrees? It's 20 degrees. So are we going to use the outside or the inside? So this is going to be our outside. And our inside goes this way. Is that angle bigger than 90 degrees? Outside.
First
And because it's open that way, right? And it looks bigger than 90 degrees? Did you have to revise?
Can I do number 5?
Yes, you
So what could you do if you don't know what you're doing?
need some help.
And then this line needs to go on top of the other line.
Yes.
How you doing?
That's what I got when I did it.
Raise your hand, Tay.
So now I can measure
There's like 4 adults in here.
my degrees on it.
Alright, so you're on number 3, right?
What?
Alright.
Can you tell where it points to over here?
What?
Somewhere over here, right? We don't know for sure. So what she's saying that you do is you can take your edge of the protractor, you can draw it out like this,
Okay, so how much is it?
and make that line longer.
But did you see what
See
she
how I made that
told
line
you? Yeah.
longer?
But do you see what she told you to do?
I would agree.
Can I see where that pencil line goes?
Give me 1
Where'd it
second.
go?
Number 1.
What number is that?
This one, we are going to
What number would that be? No, 'cause that's.
It's okay if you have to move the protractor to fit the angle, if you have to move the paper as well to fit the baseline.
You want to help Ashanti over here? Ashanti, she's coming. You can ask your question.
So, I had this
Right here?
So I just want to let you guys know that this is your first time with this tool probably. So we're not going to be pros when we first interact with this tool, right?
No pun intended.
and it's
Not gonna be pros with the protractor.
So what did you get? Wait, what's
Great.
your degree? What did you get?
Great. And we're going to get more practice in our small group.
Are you ready? Yeah.
85.
Alright, so now we're gonna go into our small groups. And bring your protractor with you and a pencil. Okay? And we're gonna practice some more with the angles and measuring them as well. And then we're gonna talk about how do we define them.
Oh, cool.
Alright.